Hi, I'm Ian Colburn. I have some videos up of my stand-up comedy performances on YouTube and in some other places, as well as some stuff about my book, God is a Woman, Dating Disasters. This is nothing fancy here, obviously. I just wanted to put this video up as a message, basically a public message. There is an epidemic going on right now. It happens to thousands of senior citizens every year, and no one talks about it. And that is that their inheritances are being stolen by their best friends. It's a huge problem. It happens to tens of thousands of people, and no one talks about it. So it just keeps going on. So I'm hoping to stop it, spread the word, or whatever little thing I can do. That's what I'm trying to do. I know about it because it just happened to my mom. Basically, it works like this. Today's senior citizens, the older ones, were born and raised in the Great Depression. They do not trust banks, a lot of them. So instead of keeping their money in bank accounts, they keep it in safe deposit boxes. And a lot of times they have a best friend's name on the box in case there's some emergency or something, the friend can get into it. Well, when they pass away, when they're widow, given the generation is typically the widow is grieving, the family's grieving. You're not thinking about money at all. You're dealing with funeral arrangements and letting everybody know about the person's death and dealing with all the grief. The best friend goes and takes everything out of the safe deposit box. I call it, while you're grieving, they're thieving. And that's basically what happens. So I just wanted to warn people and let them know. Don't, be smart the way you set up your inheritances, and don't trust best friends. Don't trust anyone who's not in the will. First of all, make sure everybody has a copy of the will who's in the will. Make sure while you're still alive, everyone has a copy of that. You give them a copy. It doesn't have to be a certified copy, just it could be a photocopy, but a copy so they know what's in that will and what your arrangements are intended to be, what your wishes are. And also make sure that only people in the will, in the family, whoever, your spouse, whoever the next person in line is who you love the most, is on your safe deposit box, if you have a safe deposit box. Doing it any other way is ridiculous. I put up a site telling the story, saveinheritance.com, www.saveinheritance.com. I encourage people to visit the site and use it as a segue into having a conversation. Please, if I had known about this ahead of time, have a conversation. Use the site as a segue to have that conversation with your grandparents, your parents, your spouse, whoever, about how they've made their arrangements, and make sure that they don't have anything goofy set up there like a friend's name on a safe deposit box. You'd be surprised. I've already heard from half a dozen friends that they have the same kind of setup, the exact same thing, something goofy, and they've corrected it now. So I tell the whole story on saveinheritance.com. The best friend's name is Walter Mahaffey in this case. He is the owner of Grundy Supply. I tell everything about him. And I don't do that because I'm after him. I really don't want to think about this guy. I mean, hey, I'll be honest. I think he's a scum of the earth. Who wouldn't? If he stole your mom's inheritance, which apparently he did, who wouldn't think that? But the reason I tell the story fully and completely is because I want you to see in him your best friend. I want you to see, hey, my best friend does that kind of thing. I went fishing with my best friend. I took pictures with my best friend. We went to parties together. We did all these things. Okay? Because I know that a lot of people are going to see this and they're going to think, oh, well, my best friend would never do that. Well, that's exactly what my stepfather thought. And that's exactly what happened. And I've heard from about a dozen people now who said they've had the same kind of thing happen. They can't discuss it. They can't give me all the details. They can't reveal their names because they sign non-disclosure agreements. That's why this keeps going on. Okay? They get a lawyer. They go after the best friend who stole the money. They agree out of court to settle for half of what was in the safe deposit box. And of that half, they give 40% to their attorney. So they end up walking away with roughly 30% of their rightful inheritance. And everybody signs a non-disclosure agreement, so no one can discuss it. So the cycle goes on. I've contacted the media. I don't know, so far there has been little interest on their part, but I haven't done too much about that either yet, so we'll see what happens. But I just really want to get this out there, let people know. I cannot begin to describe to you the agony that my mom has gone through, to deal with the death, and then a month later, it's just as she's starting to face the death, really, she gets to the bank to get some money out and finds out that the safe deposit box has been cleaned out by the best friend who didn't even show up for the service. So just a horrible situation. Again, visit saveinheritance.com, and please, I encourage you, do not put any friend's name on a safe deposit box. Okay? And also use the site as a segue to have a conversation with your family members about how they have things arranged. I can't emphasize that enough. Do not wait, because once it happens, it's just a lot more pain. So that's it.